Hello, everyone. Can you hear me all right? Can you? I guess yes.
Can you hear us? Great.
We can see that you're starting to settle down, so take your time. Come to us. We're about to present to you the most awaited session of the day. So, hello, everyone. It's very good to see you in person. And also
Hello
to see some
again.
of you online. Hi to you, Kyriakos. I'm Stefanie WEBER. OK, there you go. That works by me. For those who don't know me, or maybe you have done yoga with me yesterday morning, but if you don't, I'm Stefanie WEBER, Communication Officer at the URBACT Secretariat.
And I'm Kristijan, or Chris, simply Chris, from the URBACT Secretariat as well.
Together, we will fill you in on the main novelties of the next programming period for URBACT.
And most importantly, we'll share with you how you can get involved in the next URBACT 4 program and the calls. And we would like to check first how many of you haven't yet been involved in URBACT network or in URBACT in general. So how many of you haven't been involved? You can maybe raise your hand. OK, we are checking.
Don't be shy.
Not so many, so there's quite a lot of actually people which have already been involved in URBACT, Stefanie.
That's good. We can use as many acronyms as we like. No, I'm
Yes,
kidding.
but we should still think about minorities,
Yes.
you know?
We should. We should, definitely. So we would like to invite you to explore with us the URBACT 4 universe today. And before anything, if I can have my slides. Spoiler alert, I'm going to start talking before my slides appear. But just so you know, URBACT 4 is evolution, not revolution. As Sandra has just said in the same stage, what URBACT makes, it stays. And we're here to stay, and we remain the same friendly, approachable program and secretariat with a few tweaks. And with the good old same objective. We want to sparkle positive change in cities across all Europe. And for that, cooperation is key. We firmly believe that transnational exchanging and peer-to-peer learning are also very important steps for our mission.
And all this relies actually on learning by doing approach. We are still keeping that. We are still focusing on learning by doing in order to build skills, to build our capacities, how to manage these processes, which are very challenging and which can be focused on a variety of themes, thematic policy areas. And of course, all this is related then also to how to manage the process of change within the city administration. And there are a variety of tools that are evolving and being developed throughout the years in URBACT.
Yeah, and it's just that URBACT, as you heard just a moment ago, the European landscape is also evolving. You have heard a lot from many panelists just a few minutes before this. As you can see, Europe is closer to its citizens. And let's face it, cities are for the citizens, and they're made by the citizens.
So let's take a closer look how this works in practice. But what we will actually tell you now is still a theory. So let's see if we can explain the theory in a simple way. So URBACT method is about integration. We have heard before integrated approach. You have, I suppose, heard about that thing many times already during the festival. So what is integration all about? It was explained also before, but there is several dimensions to integration. One is the horizontal one, and this is the policy areas that we want to respond to, but we would like to tackle the particular policy challenge with a wider sense. So we have mentioned the lens. So we have an integrated lens that we take, and this integrated lens is very progressive. It gives you this horizontal perspective, social, environmental, cultural, economic perspectives that you take into consideration, then this lens also takes a vertical integration into account, where you check the EU level, the region, the national, regional, departmental, municipal, until the civil society level. And of course, there's also other dimensions like territorial, which is very important. And this territorial dimension is very much manifested already in metropolitan areas today in Europe. So let's not go more than that, but that's just for the starters.
That was a very good teaser.
Yeah.
I can vouch for that. Naturally, this also means taking a participatory approach, which means involving and engaging all relevant stakeholders, from local residents to the elected representatives and everyone who's sitting in between. And when we talk about participation, it includes as well collectively experimenting with participatory tools, which you can easily find in our URBACT Toolbox available on our website.
And of course, the third dimension, it's important. It's what I just mentioned before, learning by doing. It's action learning approach. So you are learning by doing, you're using tools. There are a variety of tools that are also collected in the URBACT Toolbox. And if you are a part of an URBACT network, let's say action planning networks, at the end you have a concrete result, which is the action planning, integrated action plan. And this integrated action plan is the result of all these, let's say, methodological approach that you took, the tools, the exchanges that you have with your stakeholders. And this is where integration and participation is being put into the concrete list of actions.
Yeah, we know this might sound a bit too abstract for you. Fear not, we're here for you. We'll help you get through this. And maybe it's not too overwhelming as concepts, or maybe you're just interested in those topics. And for that, we actually have 2 sessions coming up, which are showcased right behind me, which are invited to come and learn more about participation in action and how to put integration into action.
Do we know where they're happening? I think it's the 10th and the Les Écuries. But check the poster, please, just to make sure you're on the right place, okay? And so now, what the URBACT 3.4 will be consisting of. So we are building on the URBACT 3 legacy. It's the evolution, not the revolution. So we still are keeping the networks. So the first type of a network is an action planning network. I already mentioned you are co-designing the integrated action plans. So you're also including and considering the planning implementation of this action plan, so that the strategies that are being, so that the actions that are being, let's say, conceived fit well into the strategies at city level. And then implementation, notably, considers the how you will involve the actors, funding, so the links to appropriate funds. We also mentioned that, so we are very much emphasizing this aspect as well, and also the risk assessments and other important aspects that can help you prevent something that can happen in the future. The other types of networks are the transfer networks, and these are based on the transfer of the good practice that we identified beforehand and maybe gave them the award. This is what happened in URBACT 4. We had the good practice call. We had 97 good practices rewarded and labelized as the URBACT good practice. And then we had a call for transfer of that good practice. And we also had transfer networks here. Some of you have been in the transfer network. Playful Paradigm, that was mentioned by Kieran before, was a transfer network. So it was the good practice from Udine with the playfulness good practice that the Cork has been inspired with and made it in its own. And apparently it was a success for them. And then we have a new thing actually happening now, which we also piloted in URBACT 3, which is the innovation transfer mechanism. And you have already heard about the urban innovative actions, right? So urban innovative actions are being, let's say, dismantled. The practice that is being, let's say, implemented there is being dismantled in URBACT, and then partners can take some of the elements that are the most appropriate for them, and then they design, build, think about investment plans. And yes, it's challenging, but they try to find the funding for implementing then some of the activities related to this innovation practice. That's the networking part.
Yeah, and knowing that capacity building is an integral part of the network's journey.
Indeed.
And it goes without saying that we are always improving. There's always room for improvement. And we are keeping some of our flagship events, sometimes taking even a step forward for some of them. And I'm sure that some of you sitting in the room with us today have attended the URBACT Summer University, maybe in Rotterdam, or the E-University, which was...
Should we check?
Yeah, we can check. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Who has been in Rotterdam URBACT Summer University? Whoa.
That's
Yeah,
not
nice.
so bad.
Nice. So we have a common... okay.
Yeah, come on by there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, for the past years, we had to go online, but we made the most of it. Might as be with our URBACT University or the thematic-led URBACT University on resourcing and financing. And we have also made the most with one of my favorite parts of the URBACT website, which is the Toolbox, which I have already presented, and once again, it's here. And what I really like about the Toolbox, actually, if I may, it's the fact that it's built for all, not just the URBACT beneficiaries, but you can share widely.
Yeah, anybody can apply it, yeah, if you're a city administrator, especially. And yes, we said capacity building is an integral part of the journey when you are within the network. It's the program support, program activity, and we add to the network activities with our capacity building activities like university. However, we also have the knowledge sharing activity, which is also integral part of the journey, where we try to link similar thematic networks, which are working on similar policy challenges, and we are then trying to give them the springboard. We put them on a springboard, and then we try to help them a bit to have a greater impact and to lobby maybe with some of the important figures at European level. And we are focusing and trying to capitalize mainly on hot topics. We are trying to identify the hot topics and then try to really share about the hot topics. And for that, we also have national URBACT points. Is there any national URBACT point here?
Show us hands.
So these people are our ambassadors in different countries across Europe. And they help us share what is happening. And they also have, this knowledge about specific contexts, specific national contexts, and they can really adapt the communication and also work with partners at national level to see how things that are being done at transnational exchange can be applied. And they also link the cities with relevant institutions at national scale.
Yes, so far we have been going through a lot of the things that you're already familiar with, building on the URBACT tree legacy, evolution, not revolution. So now let's take a sneak peek of some of the novelties. We will have a reinforced focus, as a matter of fact. As you might have noticed, we had some very special panels within specific themes. And as you might know, the URBACT 4 will actually prioritize these 3 cross-cutting themes on gender equality, digital transition, and climate action. We want to also to build awareness and capacities around these 3 particular topics. And the program aims to actually feed directly all the knowledge that we're producing in the lovely URBACT Knowledge Hub that Chris has just mentioned.
So we have actually now already the 3 of them, right? And another novelty is we just met a representative from Serbia, is the pre-accession countries from Western Balkans. I'm personally very happy to see that because I'm Yugoslav. It doesn't exist anymore, but still. And okay. And I would really like to say a warm welcome to Albania Mirosarđe.
Woo!
To Bosnia and Herzegovina. I don't think they are with us, but it's dobrodošli.
Woo!
To Montenegro, dobrodošli. To North Macedonia, dobre dojde. And to Serbia, dobrodošli. So, and I'm from Slovenia, we say dobrodošli, so that's why I'm Yugoslav. Okay, so welcome.
Yeah, as we know, Chris, we know you're very strong with multiple languages and so on, and for that, congrats. And now I'm happy to share with you that you've seen it, all it's up with URBACT's evolution, and it's actually time for the biggest announcement of the day. Can I have some drum rolls, please? Actually, you did that for nothing. The spoiler is right here. The next cover networks is around the corner. Yay! Yay! Come on! Woo!
Just around the corner.
Right there, by the Écurie. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's more autumn, less summer. but
Yes,
still.
so Les Écuries is the freshest building here, if you have noticed. So this is how our new call for action planning network will be also fresh. So you can expect fresh things in it. Okay, so what is the call for action planning networks going to be about? It's going to be about action planning. And with action planning, you're going to respond to specific policy challenges. Stephanie already mentioned that it's bottom-up. Whatever you're dealing with, we are interested in all types of topics. We are really a bottom-up program. So, and in order, if you are, of course, then approved, you will be learning and exchanging on the same policy challenges at pan-European level. You will be meeting, you will have your partners, your peers from other countries. So this is how you will be inspired how others do the same things. You will be establishing a multi-stakeholder group at local level. We call it URBACT Local Group, ULG. Sing with me. And and this is actually where the action happens. This is the most challenging part of the URBACT journey, to establish this multi-stakeholder group and to manage it. It's difficult. You're telling me that all the time. Using experimenting participatory tools is your opportunity when you're establishing it. You really have an opportunity to be within some kind of a framework, which is URBACT, and we are helping you to experiment these tools and to maybe make some push in your city administration. And then, together, at local level, at a transnational level, you are co-creating and developing the actionable local strategy, which will be inspired by all these ideas that you will hear about, but will be actually done in a participative way and hopefully thinking about the integrated thing. And, very important, being involved in an action planning network allows you, actually brings you to the EU funding door. And we then try to make a key for you to open that door, and then you open the door and you come to the new black hole, and you're shaking, and you don't know how to get funds. But we try to help you with that. And it was also mentioned in the previous panel, that yes, we are really trying to link the cohesion policy and the structural funds with what you will be developing in the action planning, and then you can identify. And there are different ways, you know, even we know that different partners have been able to then continue
Take the leap.
with other funds. Am I missing something, Stephanie?
Yes, you are the most important one, making the most of the universe. Because, quite frankly, that's what European cooperation is about. It's exploring this universe together, building bridges and communities. So, yeah.
We are Europe. That's what we are practicing in URBACT, Europe.
So, if you're interested in becoming a partner, might as be a lead partner, might as be a regular partner, good for you, you're in luck, because we have 2 sessions in a row on how to become a project partner, which is regular being taking part of a network and building your own URBACT local groups and benefiting and making the most of it. And another session on how to be a lead partner. For those who are not entirely familiar, a lead partner is the city that actually takes the lead in this whole exchange and learning journey alongside a chosen lead expert. But first, how to get involved. Here's just like some things that you should probably take a pen and take notes so you don't forget at all.
It's a lot of dates.
Yes. I don't know if many dates, but accounts, social media accounts to follow, some kind of like hints and tips. So our beneficiaries are mainly made of cities and non-cities, which means development agencies, regions, universities. And I kindly invite you guys to stay tuned and keep an eye. You heard that quite a lot during the panel before ours on URBACT.eu, but also our social media channels. You can also subscribe to our newsletter, so you'll be the first one to know when the call is launched around autumn time, let's say October.
Yes, that's our ambition. And experts, all the experts or those that think that can contribute as experts to URBACT program to support our networks, either with smaller, shorter missions or a big, huge mission, which is the lead expert mission. So we have a pool of validated URBACT experts, and for all of you, all of those that are validated for URBACT 3, we need to apply again for URBACT 4. And of course, we are welcoming all the new experts that are not yet validated to apply for different expertise validation roles. The call will be published open in September.
October. Oh no, yes, it's true. My bad. Rip that out. Write down on your notebook. September. Experts, September.
Is it
call
September?
October.
Yeah,
yes,
it's
September. September. In case you haven't heard that.
September.
Yes.
So in August, oh yeah, August is before that. Okay, so I will need to work a lot, like, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, whoa. So September, okay, yes. Good. And civil society, that's also very important for us. If there is any civil society representatives, different associations, NGOs, and so on, you cannot really get directly involved within our URBACT program because we need to have a city as an institution. But you can encourage your city administration to check URBACT if you are maybe one of the main actors that is dealing with specific policy challenges in the city. And then when the city is part of the network and when the URBACT local group is being established, then you become an integral part of the multi-stakeholder group. So this is how actually the civil society gets involved. Contact your cities, let them know there is URBACT which exists and can be a good tool for your city to push.
Indeed. Launch.
Yeah.
With that being said, we know that an integral part of applying to the call is also finding good partners. And we know this could be kind of a hard task. Oh, oops. Sorry. Yes, write a slide here. Finding partners can be a very hard task, and truth to be told, I would love that we would have like an app, which wouldn't it be wonderful that we just swap to the right and to the left, the city that we see like, oh, this has the needs and challenges that I need. Unfortunately, we don't have an app, but we do have the partner search tool, which is a functionality within the URBACT.eu website, and which will be open and available to all of you once the call is open.
Stefanie, are you using this tool?
Should I?
I mean, I'm not. I'm married. I have 2 kids, you know. Do you know this tool? Because I've never seen it, actually.
Mystery. I don't know how this slide was put together. Challenging. Okay. So in the meantime, while we don't have the partner search tool open yet, you can still network here. Isn't this a wonderful opportunity to actually get to know new cities? And furthermore, we give you the right framework to actually do some old good networking. So just so you know, there are sessions running through the whole afternoon with thematic networks encounters, let's put it that way, which will take place in Preux, on the exhibition space.
Area.
Yes. We also have the national meetings, which will be in La Source. And at last but not least, we have the speed networking session, which is going to be in Canopé. And for this one, only people who have registered can attend, but I'm sure that you have registered because you're such good students, aren't they? Good.
So, let's sum up. If I remember well, Call for Experts opens in September 2022. Now, Call for Action Planning Networks opens in October 2022. And before that, we have summer. And now it's really hot. And can we make this can I make a jump with you, like a rock kind of punk style jump? Is anybody ready? No. I'm just kidding, it's good.
Yeah, in the meantime, you can also, as I have said, follow us in our channels so you stay up to date with everything. And be sure to also reach out to your national URBACT point, because they have very good information, usually straight off the oven, not to mention that they are great city matchmakers.
So, are there any questions? You can raise your hand. All of you, do you have any questions?
What? Were we that clear?
It seems like. So, but if you have any questions, yes, we see.
Thank you for the presentation, Chris. I have read in your slide talking about the integrated action plan, but instead of action planning, I have seen local strategy. So instead of action planning or action plan as a main output, I have read local strategy. So does it mean any change?
Actually, no. Actually, it's the integrated action plan stays, but we have used a different language to say this, because in practice, you know, the integrated action plans are being integrated in different local strategies, or a bigger strategy, or different master plans. So it was more like a language.
So it's the same action planning?
It's IAP. IAP, sing with me.
ULG, sing with me.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to pop by the URBACT stand.
But there's another one there.
Oh, there is another question. Sorry, that was way too fast.
Hello, thank you for all the useful information. I'm Renia from Heraklion. My question is, we heard during the venue, we were hearing about something new in the URBACT 4, and we heard about testing. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Is there going to be some extra funding for testing?
So testing was being applied in current action planning networks. They were called small-scale actions. So we are keeping the small-scale actions, but we learned a lot from the last 3 years. So we will further elaborate them, and we will see how we integrate them also into the budget structure and so on. So this is the testing we have, we maybe mentioned. Yeah.
And if you want to find out more about that, be sure to visit us at the URBACT stand during the breaks. Yeah. We'll be there. Come visit us. We don't bite.
And we have the green...
lanyard.
Yeah. So come ask questions, don't be shy. That's all from us.
Yes, be sure to make the most of all the sessions you're attending, and we're hoping to see you very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.